Good afternoon. Welcome to Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. The chat is up and running. How's everybody doing today? Afternoon Chat, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a free show. No midstream ads, no commercials, no sponsors. I'm not chasing your wallet. Okay. I'm not running for political office. I'm not coming out with a line of merch. Okay. This show is about giving the world an opportunity to have their voice heard. It's a live stream, open chat room. Everyone is welcome. If you want to be able to chat, you need to go to youtube.com and download their free Discord app. This show will never ask you for money. Everything is free. The stars of the show are the people in the chat. They determine what we're going to talk about. They determine everything. I'm just kind of a placeholder here. I'm really not here. We can talk about anything you want to talk about as long as we stay within the community guidelines that are established by YouTube. It's the only platform I'm streaming on, so let's not piss them off. It's pretty basic, really. My apartment is hotter than Hades this morning, I swear. I'm just sitting here sweating. I put the air conditioner on, but it takes like 30 minutes to get the whole apartment cool. Got a big football game coming up on Thursday. Speaking of Thursday, I will not have a show. Here in the United States, Thursday, the 27th of November, is a holiday, Thanksgiving. It's about family and friends, breaking bread together. It's a truly American holiday. The show will be back on Friday, just like normal, but Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm not going to run the show. I'm going to take the day off and watch my football team play. Mine like I own the team. I don't own the team. I'm just a fan of the Detroit Lions. Yeah, this season the team is struggling. We're having our issues, that's for sure. But, they could win out the rest of the season. You never know. If the season ended today, they wouldn't even be in the playoffs. So they've got an uphill battle. The game is 1 o'clock on Thursday. I will be watching. I actually went to the grocery store and got the last finishing touches for my Thanksgiving dinner. I'm looking forward to it. So what's on your mind today? What do you guys want to talk about? No predetermined subject. We can discuss anything you want to discuss. If I don't know anything about it, I'll tell you. I glanced at channel analytics, and we're still moving forward. getting new subscribers, getting more view hours, more viewers. Been doing this about 3 months now. I started it on August 25th. "90 days in, I think I have 27 subscribers. So I get a new subscriber every 3 days or something like that. On average, I know that we're building a decent international audience. I know that we have subscribers that are in, let's see, United Kingdom, England, Latvia, Turkey, Indonesia. So we're progressing. I'm not sure who YouTube is putting us in front of, but evidently we're being marketed internationally. No problem with me. I like it. I'm in Michigan myself. It's a kind of a cold, rainy day, late fall day. The rain's supposed to turn to snow at some point, probably tomorrow. I don't think it's cold enough yet for the snow to stick, but you never know. So what's on your mind today? What do you guys want to talk about? The Epstein files you're never going to get to see? You best not be believing that they're going to release those files. You're never going to get them released. There's too many elites, too many politicians. They're never going to release it. Anything that we ever see will be whitewashed. It will be cleaned, as they say. You're never going to get to see the complete files. You're never going to get to see the complete bank records to see who was paying the pimp. Just like you're never going to get to go to the Epstein ballroom when they finish it. Well, evidently, the United States government is 100% pro-pedophile. That's the way it appears to me. My opinion. That's the only one I can offer you. From my perspective, one guy sitting on one end of one couch. That's what I see. Feel free to disagree. Jump in the chat. Speak your mind. Let us know. But as far as I'm concerned, this is it's a ship run aground. They're not going to release those files. I don't care how many times they lied to you. I'll reiterate and I'll tell you the same thing I've been saying for the last month. Out with them all. No more incumbents. Put a revolving door on both houses of Congress and just vote them out. Every time they get voted in, vote them out. Repeat. Rinse and repeat. That's all. They're dysfunctional. They're more interested in covering up their crimes than they are in governing our nation. And don't get me started on our foreign affairs policies. in this country. They're just absurd. Trying to blackmail Ukraine and force them into a basic surrender. They've been fighting for 3 years. They're not going to surrender. They're actually doing better in the war than the Russians are. Oh, the foreign policies of our government, between the tariff war on the world, which don't get me started. You want to change the subject? Jump in the chat. Feel free to change it. I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. But if you're not getting in the chat, we're stuck with wherever my mind wanders. And I was watching international news this morning, and I'm ready to blast them. They have no clue what they're doing. It appears to me that our president, Donald J. Trump, is nothing more than a Russian sympathizer. I look back to his first term, the Helsinki hand job, I call it. He is definitely in Putin's pocket. He wants Putin to be, well, he wants to be like Putin, I should say. That's the best way to phrase it. I don't know. I look at Donald Trump's presidency as a whole, and it's like one bribe after another. Man has no spine. He's a gold digger. Just, wave your money in front of him and he'll follow you around like a little lapdog. He'll do anything you say. I think they ought to teach him how to respond like a dog. Make him sit up and beg. Hey, if you're going to be that transactional, if you're that for sale, what's the difference between him and a streetwalker? Well, the streetwalker's got a minimum price. I'm not sure Donald does. I'm not anti-American, don't get me wrong, but I am anti-grifter. And he'll sell you a watch that doesn't work. He'll sell you a phone that doesn't exist. He'll sell you sneakers. It's just one scam after another. It's ridiculous what this guy does. The emoluments clause is a complete joke. When Congress is not willing to hold the president accountable, they're just as guilty as he is. Each and every one of them. Both sides of the aisle. There are, 212 Democrats? Why aren't they in the news every day? They're complicit. The same corporations that bribe the Republicans are turning around and bribing the Democrats. That's how they just ended the government shutdown. They just went and found 8 Democratic senators that were not up for re-election, and they offered them a bribe. And they said, end the shutdown. Okay. They got nothing for ending the shutdown except bribes. This is what corporate America does. You want to straighten it out? Make political contributions not tax deductible. Personal opinion. Feel free to disagree. Jump in the chat. Let me know what you think. As far as I'm concerned, the corporations are they're the ones that are paying Donald Trump to do all this crap. They're pardoning criminals, interfering with investigations, starting fake investigations. It's all so that they can, hide their pro-pedophile stance. Half the White House has been torn down. Do you see the Democrats out there every day yelling and screaming? No. The President of the United States does not understand boundaries. He does not respect boundaries. He's a tenant in the White House. He is not an owner. He can't say tear down the East Wing. It's not his to tear down. Hello? Years and years of history on the scrap heap. A tenant, someone that is renting your house, someone that is staying there temporarily, do they have the right to just start ripping down walls? I don't think so. But the Democrats that aren't yelling and screaming about the East Wing of the White House being torn down, they're complicit. Their silence makes them complicit. They're going along. They're saying, well, it's okay with me. Why is it okay? Think about that. Maybe they're looking forward to a nice, lavish dinner paid for by the taxpayers inside the Epstein ballroom once it's been completed. It's a shrine they're building to a shrine to the pedophiles. These people that are currently running our government are morally and ethically deficient. The people of America actually have morals, actually have ethics. The government, not so much. Feel free to jump in the chat, change the topic anytime you like. There's no charge. I can't understand how any elected representative of the people can stand by and not be shouting at the top of their lungs about all the travesties that are going on in this presidency. The tariffs, the worldwide trade war, they're a joke. The last thing the American people needed is to pay more taxes. And that's exactly what a tariff is. It's a tax on the American people. The corporations will not shoulder the burden. They will not. If you're a CEO, You have to increase your profits year by year, not decrease. If your profits decrease as a CEO, you get fired. Think about that. They're not absorbing the cost. We are. A tariff is a hidden tax on the people of America. There should be no tariffs, zero tariffs. Occasionally, you might need a temporary tariff to even the playing field for a particular industry, but that's it. A tariff is not paid by a foreign country. A tariff is a hidden tax on the American people. Plain and simple. And now they're telling you lies that you're going to get a check, a tariff refund. It's not going to happen. They're not going to give you any money. They're going to take more money. Okay, they don't give money, they take money. Well, you're the ones that decided to bail out Argentina. The American people decided to do that. Well, we have investments in Argentina. We have to protect our investments. We can't let their government crumble. Oh, you don't have investments in Argentina? That's funny. I don't have any investments in Argentina either. Well, then why did we bail them out? Why did we give them $40 billion of taxpayer money? Oh, because somebody bribed our president. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. Well, when you get a chance and you're talking to Mr. Trump, President Trump, when you're talking to him next, ask him, what is the minimum bribe? We can't compete with the maximum bribe. We know it. We've seen the $400 million jet that the Qataris gave him. So what's the minimum bribe? Well, there's some things we need to change in this country. And if we had a minimum bribe amount, we could start a GoFundMe page. We can get something done as the people. All we'll do is come up with the minimum bribe, and we'll put it out there and say, hey, all Americans need health care. Not all but 20 million, not all but 40 million. All Americans need health care. Not just for 6 months. We need it forever. Well, we've already needed it for 250 years. Should we wait another 250? It'd really help us to have that health care now. I'm just saying. Feel free to jump in the chat and disagree. You're welcome to. Change the subject. For-profit healthcare in America does not work. It's dysfunctional. It shouldn't cost you $10,000 a day to be in the hospital. How many doctors, how many hospital administrators, how many pharmacy managers need to go on marlin fishing trips off the coast of Florida? How many vacations do you got to pay for? Should every doctor be a billionaire? It's not necessary. The nurses aren't billionaires. The nurses aren't even millionaires. Why is that? Oh, because they draw a line. It's an artificial line. It doesn't exist. For-profit healthcare is dysfunctional. It is immoral. It is unethical. In corporations, if you're a CEO, your job is to increase your profits this year over what you made in profit last year. If you increase in profit, you get a bonus and you'll be working again next year. If you do not increase your profit, you get no bonus and your job's hanging by a thread. You can be dropped at it like a hot rock. You're not doing the job. I saw this firsthand in the casino industry in Vegas. 33 years I spent in that industry, and I watched. Corporate profits went up each year. Wages never went up. Benefits never went up. But corporate profits did. The corporations are not held accountable. They're the ones that are bribing the politicians now. You saw on the inauguration party, you saw all the billionaires lined up witnessing the inauguration. They're the ones. They're the ones that want masked ICE agents running around in the street, nabbing our friends and neighbors. They're not getting the criminals. They're getting the maids. They're getting the cooks, the dishwashers. They're getting the farm workers. They're not getting the killers. That's all a lie. That's all a scam. It is not true. Those same corporations that are bribing our politicians, they're the ones that want trade wars. They're the ones that want everything that is going on. The entire Project 2025, the entire playbook. The corporations in America are doing this to us, to our friends, to our neighbors. They are paying them to do this. Look up private prisons. Their stocks are on the rise. They're doing well. They're making money hand over fist. That's what the whole immigration thing is about. You're going to let them deport all the Mexican American, all the Spanish speaking people. What's next? You're going to let them deport all the Muslims? How about if they deport all the Baptists? When are you going to draw a line? They shouldn't be deporting anybody except the criminals, the ones that they said they were going to deport. Personal opinion. Feel free to disagree. Jump in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking. Change the subject. I don't mind. But if you guys aren't getting in the chat, I'm going to give you my opinions on whatever I think of. And I was watching the news today. And the news in America sucks. I'm never going to the Epstein ballroom. Even if they gave me an invite, I wouldn't go. No, thank you. I'd like to go to the east wing of the White House. Oh, I can't. It's been destroyed. That's right. That's where the visitor's entrance was. Hello. He thinks it's his private property. He'll do as he damn well pleases, and you can't say anything about it. He thinks he's a god. He's not a god. He's a greedy old man, backed by other greedy old men. It's a shame. You're never going to get a rebate check. You're never going to get a Doge check. You're never going to get a tariff refund. It's not going to happen. It's a scam. It reminds me of Wimpy from the Popeye cartoons when I was a kid. I'll gladly pay you on Tuesday for a hamburger today. It's a pipe dream. You're not going to get paid. They're lying to you. Do something about it. Vote them all out of office. All of them. All incumbents must be replaced. Put a revolving door on all three houses, the House, the Senate, and the White House. Put a revolving door on the front and just flush them. The end of every term, you're out. Next. Get somebody new in there. These incumbents, they stay in office and all they do is cheat and take and take and take. They never do anything. When was the last time anything was passed for the American people? Nothing that I can remember. Well, Bush Sr. did do the American Disabilities Act. Yeah. What else did you get? The American Disabilities Act was a good thing. No, all they're doing is taking. I'm going to take the money out of this pile and I'm going to give myself a little, and then I'm going to move what's left over into the other pile. They're all giving themselves a little. Insider tradings on stock, the good old boy network, backroom deals. My brother-in-law could start that business at the drop of a hat. Let's give him a couple $100 million and bankroll him. That's what this shit is. My Gatorade. I got to get my electrolytes in. But I'm serious about this. Everything that is going on, every single news story I saw today before this show was just absurd. Why is the United States trying to force Ukraine to surrender? What's in it for the United States? If Ukraine surrenders, the war ends. What does the United States get? They don't get anything. What does the United States lose? World standing, democracy standing. This is all by design. Donald Trump is representing Russia. He's what do they call it? A useful idiot? He wants to build a Trump Tower in Moscow. And the only way he can do it is if he forces Ukraine to surrender to Russia. The second that Ukraine surrenders to Russia, he removes all sanctions to Russia, and presto, he's got a new tower under construction in downtown Moscow. He wants his name on it. The whole tariff, worldwide tariffs, all of that was so he could get bribed by each and every country. They got to kiss his ass. They got to give him a deal and cut him some sweetheart deal so he can build Trump Tower in Vietnam. Personal enrichment. That's all these guys care about. And it's not just Trump. It's every one of these guys. They're all criminals. They're there to enrich themselves, not the nation, not the people. What would happen if we voted all of these clowns out of office? No more incumbents. In the 2026 and the corresponding 2028 election, no incumbents get reelected. It put a hitch in their giddy up. It would slow their roll. Oh, they'll still be conniving. They'll still be trying to enrich themselves. What we have to do is stop them from creating a monopoly. And when you put a guy into Congress and you leave him there for 30 years, you're creating a monopoly. They're not representing you. I don't care if they're holding town halls or not. Those are just a screen. They rig those anyways. It's not real. It's staged. It's a scripted TV show with a live audience that doesn't have a clue of what's going on around them. When Trump was running for his first term, I saw a Russian woman stand up in a town hall and ask him a question. The Russian woman was later convicted of crimes against America. It was a setup. The Republican Party, put her in the audience and they wrote the question for her. And they said, when we call on you, you go up to this microphone and you read this question. That's all we need you to do. It's all rigged. It's all staged. It's a television show production. It's all theater. It's not real. The audience is real, but they've got their hidden plants in there and they've already got their questions set up, all by design. It's not a real town hall. You can go, you can attend, but you're never going to ask a question. Why? Because it's a TV show. They wrote this thing out well in advance. They put their people in place, and then they just filled in the audience with rubes, people that didn't know what was going on around them. Why does the president need to be the number one thing in the news on a daily basis? Because he's an egomaniac. He wants to be in the news. He's living a reality TV show. He never stopped. He still thinks he's doing the what was it called? The Apprentice. It's all an illusion. The town halls aren't real. The speeches aren't real. The conventions aren't real. It's all staged. Everything is scripted. It's just like you're watching professional wrestling. Oh, they've got him on the ropes now. No, he's not on the ropes. This was all by design. It's ridiculous. And it's ridiculous that people can't see it. They tell you that your vote matters. Your vote matters when you fall in line with them. They get what they want. You get the shaft. Welcome to America. This is all personal opinion. Feel free to voice yours. Jump in the chat. Take control of this show. Please. I don't want to fall down these rabbit holes, but I watched the news this morning and it sucks. On every channel, it sucks. CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS. It's not news, it's propaganda. They're telling you the party line. This is what we want you to believe. And America's going along. They're omitting the real news. You're never even hearing the real news. They don't give you the facts. They give you their biased opinion, and they're shaping it as a fact. It is not a fact. Facts and figures do not lie. People lie. Oh, you're going to get a check. Don't worry, the check's in the mail. Next year, everything's going to be better. It's not. It's like this whole tax deferred thing they gave us for retirement. Deferring taxes is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Pay your taxes once. When you make the money, pay your taxes. Then you never have to worry about it again. Oh, they want you to kick it down the road. Yeah, you're hoping that you're going to get taxed at a lower rate when you take it out, but that ain't going to be the case. Think about it. If that was the case, then the government wouldn't allow you to defer your taxes. They'd make you pay them up front. They know the tax rate's going to be higher when you take that money out. By design. These guys, I'd call them all clowns, but they're not. There's nothing funny about it. They're all villains as far as I'm concerned. Each and every one of them. I could probably name you, I don't know, 5 politicians in total that aren't taking corporate money, that aren't being bribed on a daily basis. And they're trying to function inside a system where everybody but them is taking the bribes. Think about that. If you go into work tomorrow and everyone is getting bribed except you, how's that going to make you feel? Oh no, it's not a crime to bribe a politician in America. Anyone can do it. You need something done, go bribe a politician. It's completely legal. Put $50,000 in a brown paper bag and let the FBI film the guy taking it, and he'll never get charged with a crime. They won't charge you either. They want another 50,000. Okay. No. It's perfectly legal to bribe a politician. Call Jeff Bezos and ask him. He'll tell you. Pay the politician anything you want, and we'll just call that bribe a campaign contribution. And what's worse is when the politician spends that bribe money, the U.S. government gives them matching funds. So every bribery dollar is actually worth 2 because of matching funds. You want to get money out of politics? Why is a political contribution tax deductible? It should not be tax deductible. They're writing it off their tax. The corporation that bribes the politician is not paying income tax on the money they spend for the bribe. They're writing that off of their taxes. If they weren't writing it off, they wouldn't be paying it out. Plain and simple. The government is gone to shit. That's the nicest way I can put that. Actually, you want me to explain the state of politics in the United States? I've got it figured out. It's real simple. You've seen them giant cruise ships, the really big ones. Picture America as one giant cruise ship. Just huge. When you're standing next to it, the thing's blocks long. Right? Okay. In the wheelhouse of that cruise ship, which is America, in the wheelhouse, you have all the politicians with power, all the elites, all the billionaires, and every one of them has got at least one hand on the steering wheel of the ship. So you've got a couple of thousand of these clowns. The elites, the billionaires, the movers and shakers. They're all up there in the wheelhouse. They're running the ship. Now they run that ship aground. America is going nowhere. We were sailing along, and now all of a sudden we've run aground because we've got too many people trying to steer the ship. So now on one side of the ship, you line up 80 million Democrats, and they're all pushing one way. They're all working together, pushing in one direction. Now on the opposite side of the ship, you've got 80 million Republicans, and they're all pushing the other way. One way and the other way. They're pushing against each other. They're not pushing together. They're pushing in opposite directions. Now, that's 160 million, 80 million Democrats, 80 million Republicans, right? 160 million. Well, there are 340 million people in this country. That means that more than half the Americans are still aboard the cruise ship. They're not in the wheelhouse. They're not driving. They're just along for the ride. They're not going to get off and push anymore. They tried being a Republican, didn't like it. They tried being a Democrat, didn't like that either. So they're not voting anymore. They're just along for the ride. They're along for the ride on a ship that's run aground. That's the state of American politics. That's why nothing can get changed in America. If both the Republicans and the Democrats would push in the same direction, they could get us back afloat. They could. Even without all the elites that are up in the wheelhouse. That 160 million Americans, Democrat and Republican, if they work together, they can move that ship and get it back out into the open water so that it's no longer aground. Still can't steer it because it's the elites that are in the wheelhouse. And they're not letting anybody else in. They've locked the door. No. We've got our fill of billionaires and oligarchs and political candidates. They're all locked in there, and everybody's got one hand on the wheel, and they're all trying to turn it a different direction. It's dysfunctional the way it is. Without Republicans and Democrats working together, the ship can never get launched back out to sea. It's going to remain stuck aground. Well, what about the independents? They can't agree on anything. Half the independents are with the Republicans, half the independents are with the Democrats, and they're still pushing in opposite directions. That's where American politics are. Ship run aground. It doesn't matter if half of the people are staying on the ship and not voting. They're not trying. They gave up. Even if they were to get out and push on one side or another, it's still going to be stuck because they're pushing in opposite directions. There's no answer. You need a leader that can unite them all and get them all to work together. And we don't have that. What we have is a wheelhouse full of elites that are doing nothing but making sure no one else can get in to steer the ship. And all they want to do is enrich themselves. They could care less about the people. They could care less about the status of the ship. They all think they're the one that's driving. And they're pulling the wheel in opposite directions. Can't go anywhere. That's where we are. I can't fix it. You can't fix it. The best thing we can do is when we see that our Republicans and our Democrats are not working together, vote them out of office. Change them out. Swap them out. Next. This guy couldn't function. He couldn't do the job. Let's get somebody else in there that can. We got to go through them. It's like if you got a bushel of apples and you got a couple of bad ones in there, you can't just look at it and say, well, it's okay. You've got to go through those apples and you got to find those bad ones and you got to get them out of there or you're going to lose the whole bushel. Right? This is what you and I do in our households. Everybody's on the same team. Everybody's working together in our household, right? You can't have the air conditioner on and the front door wide open. We got to work together. I need you to close that door when you come through it, and I need you to switch the light off when you leave the room. We all got to work together. If we don't work together, we're not going to succeed. They call it tribalism. Basically, they split us up into smaller groups to make us easier to control, to manipulate. The same corporations that are bribing the politicians own the media. The same corporations. They control it all. You and I don't control anything except our own house, right? Our own actions. That's all you and I control. This government, it's a joke. Trump would not be doing the things he's doing if he was not being bribed to do so. He proved that in his first term as president. He won't do anything except go golfing unless you give him a bribe. If you give him a big enough bribe, he'll walk off the golf course long enough to do something. But then he's right back out to the golf course. That's all he cares about. Him having fun. Him making money. Him enriching himself. These corporations own the news media. They own the politicians. And the corporations are owned by the elites. The top 1% of the country. They all think they're steering the ship all at the same time. They're not headed in the same direction. They all want to go in a different direction. But the ships run aground. We're not going anywhere. Not until we can work together and get us back out into the water. All right. Jump in the chat. Change the subject. Get me out of this ugly metaphor. It's pissing me off. You guys control this show. You don't have to let me rant. Viewers jump in, viewers jump out. I see them. But they're choosing not to chat. So we're stuck with whatever rabbit hole I fall down. And like I said, I watched the news this morning and they set me off. You can't expect things to work out different when you don't change what you're doing. It's like a guy working a job that he hates. As long as you keep going in every day, you're stuck. You're going to have to go apply somewhere else. Make a change if you want your life to change. Keep voting in these same politicians and you're going to keep getting the same results day in and day out, year in and year out. It's never going to change. As long as we keep doing the same thing's going to happen. Vote them all out of office. They're proving that they're dysfunctional. They prove it to us on a daily basis. So vote them all out. I don't care if you like the guy. Vote him out anyways. He's not doing the job we need him to do. I don't care if you think you're a Republican, and I don't care if you think you're a Democrat. Vote them all out of office. If they've been in office and they didn't fix anything, get them out. Next. Liking the politician isn't going to matter when he's dysfunctional and he's not doing his job. You want to make America great again? Get some different people up in the wheelhouse. The billionaires, the elites that are up there now, they've already proven they can't drive the ship. Look what they've done to this country. They've made it a mess. Single-payer health care. That would be the biggest help to the American people. A single-payer health care system. That would help every American. A single-payer health care system would straighten out all our financial issues. Then when you have a single payer, one insurance company for everyone, then you can turn to that doctor and say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not paying you $8,000 an hour, you clown. Then you can turn to the hospital and you say, no, we're not paying $10,000 a day. Then you can turn to the pharmaceutical industry. No, we're not paying $5,000 for an EpiPen. It's not going to happen. But the only way you get to dictate terms is with the single payer option. A single payer for healthcare straightens out all our problems because then you can dictate terms to the hospitals, dictate terms to the doctors, dictate terms to the drug companies. The only way you can dictate is if you have the single payer option. It doesn't have to be Medicare for all. It doesn't have to be anything that exists right now. Invent your own single-payer health care. As long as there's just one health care for all Americans, you can dictate terms and you can set and control prices. That's the only way you can set and control prices. It can't be done without just a single-payer option. The United States is the only country on the planet that does not have health care for all its citizens. And the United States is the most expensive health care in the world. Why? Because health care for profit does not work. It is immoral. It is unethical. I saw it just a couple of years ago. They came up with a cure for hemophilia. It's a blood thinning type deal where your blood won't clot on its own. And I saw them, they came up with this and they said, we've got the cure. We can finally get rid of this. All right. And then they priced the cure at $3.5 million per person. $3.5 million per person for a cure. The cure should be free. Make your money off of something else. Save the people. If you got a conscience, save the people. For-profit healthcare does not work. They got no right to sell that for $3.5 million per person. I'm sorry. It's just wrong. It's morally and ethically wrong. Until the American people get a single-payer health care, we're screwed. You're never going to be able to afford it unless you're one of the elites. They want you to think that the system can't change. Oh, that's too big. No, it's not. It's a simple fix. Stop all healthcare profits. Stop them dead in their tracks. They don't need to turn that much profit. If they do, claw it back from them in taxes and say, we're going to have to lower these prices. They're doing it with oil. It is, what do they call it? Supply and demand pricing. They control the supply. If they decide they want to raise the price and make more money, what's to stop them? They just reduce the production, produce less, drive the price up. It's a supply and demand. Lower the supply. That's how they control the price. Their profits go up every year. They increase year after year. It's what they do. You think that's capitalism? It's not capitalism. It's greed. Personal opinion. It's all I can offer you. Feel free to jump in the chat and voice your own. Let me know what you're thinking. Talk to me. If you need to get into the chat, go to youtube.com and download the Discord app. Then you can chat. You can change the topic. You can disagree with me. You can voice your opinion. I got the show here so that you can be heard. Your opinion can be heard. The hardest part is getting to voice your opinion. And that's what this show does. It gives you an opportunity to voice your opinion. All I ask is that you stay within the community guidelines established by YouTube. I'd like to keep the show on the air. Okay. It's a free show. Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Except for this Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, I'll be taking off. So I can watch football and have Thanksgiving dinner. I expect the Lions to win big on Thursday. Oh, I'm thinking more like 42 to 26. Sounds about right to me. 42 to 26. Final score, Lions win. Well, I don't know. They might want to run up the score on them, so it could be 50 to 26. It's a division opponent, and they should want to run up the score a little bit in case something happens as far as the seeding later towards the end of the season. There's really only 7 games left or something like that, right? There's 6 games left. What do you guys want to talk about? We've had plenty of viewers today. People jumping in and out. I do need to ask people to like and subscribe. That'll help with get the show out there and get more people to participate. It's free. Just like the show's free. No midstream ads, no commercials, no sponsors. One of the shows I watch, Chat Sports, Mike Kimber. He's been doing it for 7 years. He does all the Lions games. Last week's game gets into overtime, and Jahmyr Gibbs busts a long touchdown run, and Mike Kimber gets so excited he fell out of his chair. I thought it was hilarious. The guy just cracks me up. He's also in Southwest Michigan. And we got a lot of Lions fans, but they're worldwide now. They're not just in Michigan. As the team's getting better players and improving, they're getting more and more fans. But yeah, I'll stick with the original 42 to 26. Should be good. That's just Thursday. The show will be back on Friday, 3 p.m. I'm just taking Thanksgiving and Christmas Day off. So what's on your mind? What do you guys want to talk about? Oh, I think I'm done politically ranting. I went for an hour and 15 minutes on it. That's enough. I didn't create the show to hear myself rant. Okay. I created the show so that I can meet and talk to other people, find out what's going on around the world. This is the best way to get your news is in a chat room. Find out from the people that are really there what's going on. It's not tainted that way. Different parts of the world, they got different priorities, different cultures. They do things differently. I find that refreshing. I'd rather find out from the people that live in another country what they think instead of trying to follow their news. Because news, I don't care where you live now, it's all propaganda. It's all biased in one way or another. Most of the news is fear mongering anyways. They're trying to show you about crime and how dangerous the world is. The world's always been dangerous. It's safer today than it was yesterday. Well, stop and think about it. If you're living in a cave versus now, big difference. Life's a lot easier when you can go to the grocery store. They didn't used to have grocery stores, right? So tell me what's on your mind. What are you thinking about? I can't answer questions you don't ask. And I can't help with problems I don't know about, right? I went out this morning. I had breakfast with the family. Well, part of the family. Some of them are on vacation. Yeah, my father's actually driving to Florida right now, going down to spend Thanksgiving at my sister's. I'm not going. I got a show to do. Well, Florida, no marijuana. I smoke pot. I don't recommend anybody smoke anything, especially not if it's illegal. Here in Michigan, recreational marijuana is as legal as it can be. But I don't recommend anyone copy me. Be yourself, be unique. I respect that. If you're trying to be just like me, I'm sorry. It's not going to work. There's only one of me. And I don't consider myself a role model. I don't think you should either. Okay. Well, if everybody copied me, there'd be 175 different afternoon chat shows. We only need the one. in my opinion. We'll keep progressing. We'll keep moving forward. Viewership will increase. Subscribers will increase. When I decided to do this, I made a commitment to myself that I'd do it for at least 3 years. So we got time. This show's always going to be free. I need the likes and subscribes to help YouTube push out the channel. I think the more subscribers and likes they get, I think the more people they're willing to put the show in front of. I really don't know, We'll find out. I don't know. I think we've had at least 20 different people in here today. Just nobody's chatting. Well, I think some people just like to listen to me rant and rave. I don't know. I don't know why they get into a live stream chat show and don't chat, but they're not required to. I'm not going to require anybody to do anything, and I'm not going to put anything behind a paywall. I'm not going to try to hustle anybody out of their money. Well, I need my channel, Ghost Mostly Media LLC. I need that to get monetized eventually, but not for this show. This show is always going to be free. I worked in Vegas in the table games and the casinos for 33 years. And I got used to meeting a lot of people every week from all over the planet. And by hosting a live stream chat show, I'm hoping that I can do that in my retirement. Keep on meeting all kinds of people from all over the planet. I consider it interesting and educational in a lot of ways. And there's not very many free shows on TV anymore. I only know of one other one. Okay, so there might be more. I mean, I haven't really looked for them, but yeah, the air conditioner finally cooled it off in here a little bit. I don't know how it got so hot in here today. But I went out this morning. I did my banking, my grocery shopping, went to breakfast with family, and had a nice time. Got everything done, so I don't have to go out now until after the holiday is over. Well, after the Black Friday show, I'll have the weekend off. But by taking Thursday off, it does make this a short week. I'm enjoying myself. I like the format of the show, and I like the fact that it's free. And I hope eventually other people will find us. I just started telling friends and family about the show. I haven't, pressed anybody on it or anything. Well, I wanted to see who YouTube put us in front of, and they sent us to a lot of international markets, which are fine. I'm not going to complain. I met some nice people already. I'm enjoying myself, but I'm just sitting in my living room, you know. If I wasn't doing this, I'd probably just be scanning the bands, trying to find a show to watch. So may as well do my own show. Well, it's YouTube. I like YouTube. It's basically the only thing I watch anymore. Well, I don't like commercials. Number one, can't stand them. Well, there's too many of them. That's the number one problem. It's not one particular commercial I dislike. I dislike the fact that there's all of them. You want to watch a football game, for example, I think there's more commercial than there is football. Every change of possession, commercials. And not just one, they're going to run like 3 minutes worth of commercials. I should time that. On Thursday, I think I will. I'll try to time how many commercials are in a football game. I would imagine out of the 3.5 hours, I would imagine that an hour of it is all commercials. Well, I think that's what it takes to do a game, is about 3.5 hours. But that's because there's an hour's worth of commercials. I think that makes it harder on the players. They got a longer workday. But, every change of possession, every injury, they find more reason to put commercials into a football game than Carter has liver pills. In my opinion. Feel free to disagree with me anytime you like. Well, with no one in the chat, I'm going to go into my live and let live close for the show. I'll do 30 minutes on that. Live and let live. Stop picking on your neighbors. Okay? There's just one planet. We all need to get along. We don't need wars. We don't need confrontation and conflict. We don't need stress. Stress is killing people all over the planet. My philosophy is to be nice to everyone all of the time. I believe that when you do that, all that kindness and niceness comes back to you tenfold. Personal opinion. But I believe in the live and let live. I believe that you got to be patient with other people. Be understanding with other people. Be compassionate. You don't know what they're going through. Stress is hurting people all over the planet. And mental stress affects your physical health. They've proven that. They wired up a bunch of chess players. As the game progresses, their physical condition alters. Blood pressure, heart rate, breathing rate. As they feel stress in the game, it affects their physical health. Thus, they've proven that your mental condition has a direct influence on your physical health. So if you're sad and feeling miserable all the time, You're going to catch something. You're going to get something. It's going to wear down your immune system, and you will eventually get ill. In my opinion, that's all I can offer. But you can't micromanage people. The news, as we see it nowadays, is all propaganda. It's all biased. And they're using fear to control and manipulate people. They're showing you all these heinous crimes and trying to separate people into smaller groups to make them easier to control and manipulate. You can go to college and get a 4-year degree on how to control and manipulate people with fear. Every country does it. I don't believe in it myself. I believe in self-censorship. Well, this week I'm watching the news, but I'm not going to watch it next week. I've already decided I'm going to turn it off. It's too depressing. I don't need all that negative energy. Okay. I want positive energy and I want positive news stories, and they're just not there. I believe that if you allow yourself to intake all that negative information, that it's going to chew a hole up inside you. Unless you've got some way to relieve yourself of stress. And the easiest way for me to relieve myself of stress is to shut the news off and to not watch it. I have no desire to be stressed out. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week. So I have to control the amount of bullshit that I let enter my brain. Okay? In my opinion, that's the safest way to go. I found this out last year. There's a guy online here on YouTube. His name's Tom Grossi. He did a week-long live stream, 24 hours a day, 7 days in a row, and he raised over $1 million for charity. During that week, while he was live streaming 24/7, I didn't watch anything except his show. Not for a minute, not anything. All I watched was Tom Grossi's show. And I didn't realize it at the time, but when I did not have all that negative information from watching the news entering my brain, it helped my whole frame of mind. Okay. It rejuvenated my brain. I felt good, especially watching a charity stream that was raising money for a good cause. At the end of the week, I turned the news on and I realized I just did a week without that, and that did my soul a bunch of good. It actually warmed my heart not to see the news. It's like I caught my second wind or something, you know. I liked it. And since I came on line myself and I started my own show, I decided that I needed to talk to people about my philosophy of live and let live. Stop picking on your neighbor. Stop trying to tell him how to run his life. Cut him some slack. Leave him alone. Let your neighbor live their life, and they will in turn allow you to live your life. You don't want them telling you how to live, so stop trying to tell them how to live. You see the Karens on TV trying to tell people where to park their car, how to drive the car. It's none of your business. Leave them dang people alone, okay? You cannot micromanage people. It doesn't work like that. You can't pick and choose for people. You got kids? Try telling your kid who they can date and who they can't date. Good luck with that. It ain't going to work. They're going to do whatever the hell they want to do, regardless of your opinion. As it should be. Human beings all have common ground. All of us. Do Republicans love their parents and family? Yes. Do Democrats love their parents and family? Yes. Do independents love their parents and family? Yes. We've all got common ground. We're all human beings. Whether you realize it or not, we're all intertwined. That's why we have cities and towns. Because when human beings get together and collaborate, they are more successful. They build bigger and greater things. When they work together, when they collaborate, they succeed. A group can build more, faster, and better than one by himself. That's why we have cities where people can get into the same area and thus work together and build something great. Makes perfect sense. Why else would you live in a town with other people? It's so that you can interact with them and you can work together with them and both become successful. Well, I shouldn't say both. I should say all become successful. That's why we have cities, towns, and villages, so that people can get together and work together. It's a good thing. Think about that every time you get a politician that's trying to tell you not to work with the other side. He's trying to convince you the other side's a bad guy. It's not a bad guy. He's just different than you. And what's wrong with that? You're not a bad guy. You're just different from him. If we all mow our lawn north and south, and there's a guy on the other side of the street that's mowing his lawn east and west, we don't have a right to force him to mow his lawn north and south. We need to just get past it and be thankful the guy's mowing his lawn at all. We need to leave that guy alone. Cut him some slack. Allow him to be a unique individual. At the same time, he's a human being. Do you want other people to run your life? To tell you what to do? I don't think so. You want to make your own decisions. You want to carve your own path, build for your own future, right? Allow your neighbor to do the same thing. Stop picking on him. Stop trying to pick and choose for him. It's not your call to make. The same way it's not his call. How would you like it if your neighbor came up and said, you have to get a tattoo? He's got no business telling you you have to get a tattoo. It's none of his business whether you have ink or not. None of your business whether he has ink or not. It's none of your business what religion. It's none of your business what race. None of your business any of his life choices. It's none of his business what you do with your life. We can get along. We can live side by side without going to war with one another, without a confrontation. Live and let live. If you're spending your time trying to micromanage your neighbors, you're going to fail. You can't win. There's no way that you can possibly win. He's not going to buckle under, okay? You're not going to buckle under. You're not going to put up with his bullshit. So why should he put up with your bullshit? Leave your neighbor alone. That politician that's telling you that that other side is evil and conspiring against you, when the shit hits the fan, that politician's not going to be around. That guy that was talking smack about your neighbors is not going to be there. When the shit hits the fan, when the flood comes through and we're all standing in chest high water, that same neighbor that you've been told is conspiring against you and is your mortal enemy and you must hate him, he's going to come strolling by in a boat and he's going to pull you out of the water. Vice versa. You're the guy in the boat now, and you're tooling by and you see your neighbor barely treading water. Are you going to help him out of the water, or are you going to sit and watch him drown? You're going to help him out of the water. You're going to do the right thing every time. Your parents taught you right from wrong. You have manners. You say please and thank you. Your neighbor has manners. He says please and thank you. He's not conspiring against you. He's just leading his own life. But when the shit hits the fan, that same neighbor that you've been told that you must hate, you must distrust, he's going to be working side by side with you, shoulder to shoulder, to help. And you're going to be helping him because it's the right thing to do. We've all been taught that. They're telling you to pick on him because he's different. When the water is up to here, you ain't going to care if he's wearing a red hat. When that boat pulls up and that hand is extended, you're going to grasp that hand and you're going to get the hell out of the water and you're going to save yourself. You're going to save your family. You're not going to care if he's a Republican, a Democrat, a Christian, or a Jew. You're not going to care if the guy's wearing a dress. And when you get up in that boat, you're going to hug him like he's your brother, and you're going to say, thank you. I needed that help. This is the way it goes down. This is the way it happens. But that politician that's telling you that that guy's conniving against you 24/7, he's lying to you. He's trying to make you feel like you're alone in this world and you need him and only he can save you. But I'm telling you, when the shit hits the fan, that guy ain't going to be nowhere around. He's going to pull a Ted Cruz and he's going to go get on an airplane and get the hell out of Dodge. Right? He won't think twice about you. That same guy that's telling you you've got to hate your neighbor is not on your side. If he was on your side, he'd be telling you, love your neighbor, help your neighbor, be nice to your neighbor, respect your neighbor, cut him some slack, allow him to be a human being and make an occasional mistake without being chastised. It's horrible what they're telling us to do to one another. It's just deplorable. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care what your pronouns are. I care about you. I respect you. And I know that when push comes to shove, we're going to be working together to save ourselves. These people that are telling us that we must hate one another are dead wrong. They're the ones that cannot be trusted. They're the ones that are not on our side. That neighbor that you've been told you need to mistrust, that you need to hate, is just trying to live his life. Trying to build for his future, take care of him and his own. He's not sitting over there conspiring against you. Let me ask you, when was the last time you were sitting on your couch conspiring against your neighbor? Never? Hello? He's not conspiring against you either. We're all in this together. There's one planet. We need to get along with one another. We need to live and let live. If your neighbor asks you for help, help him. If you're asking your neighbor for help, he should help you. Other than that, leave the guy alone. It's not your place to pick and choose for him. You can't run his life. You can't tell him what religion to be. You can't tell him who to hang out with. You can't tell him where to work. It's his option, the same as it's your option. So live and let live. The good guys outnumber the bad guys by a lot. You don't realize it. Maybe you said hi to that guy last week and you got no response. So what? You don't know what's on his plate. You don't know what he's dealing with. Maybe he just didn't hear you. Maybe he's got so much pressure and so much stress in his life that he's got to get from point A to point B, or something tragic happens. You don't know what's on his plate. You don't have any idea what he's dealing with. So just from the get-go, cut him some slack. Lighten up, Maynard. Be nice. Worry about you and yours. Focus on what you can control. You cannot control him, and you have no right to control your neighbor. We have a society that's got a set of laws, and we all have to operate under top this same umbrella. We all have to live together. So let's do it. Cut each other some slack. Be the most patient. Be the most understanding. Be the most charitable. Be the most compassionate. If you're walking down the street and you see a baby crying, what do? Look for the parents. Hey, your baby's crying over here. Pick that baby up. Don't let that baby cry. You're a decent human being. So is your neighbor. I don't care if he's a different religion. I don't care if he's a different race. He's still a decent human being. If you'd ever worked a job with him, you'd know. If you ever broke bread with the man, you'd know. Don't be afraid of your neighbor. Be accepting of your neighbor. He's got a right to be there. Same as you do. Do you want to be the good guy, or do you want to be the bad guy? Ask yourself. I want to be on the side with the good guys. Plain and simple. I think you do too. I believe there are more good people than there are bad. I'm not going to judge you to be bad because you're a different religion. I'm not going to judge you to be bad because you're a different race. I'm not going to judge you to be bad based on the way you dress. And you shouldn't do that to me either. Don't judge me. It's not your place. It's not my place to judge you. I cannot control you. I cannot manipulate you. I cannot nitpick you. What I can do is peacefully coexist with you. I can get along, and that's all we have to do in our society. You don't have to be best friends with your neighbor. It's not required. But I guarantee you, when the shit hits the fan and there's hardship abundant for everybody, that neighbor that you think is your mortal enemy is going to show up, and he's going to be there with you shoulder to shoulder, handling that burden together. That's what we do. You want to be a good person? It starts at home. It starts with you. Be of the mindset, I'm going to be tolerant. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be understanding. I'm going to be helpful. Do you want to be the helpful, or do you want to be the hindrance? Make that decision. It starts with you. You decide, how are you going to treat that neighbor? With respect Think about that. You need to value your life, but you need to value his life as well. You need to value all human life. I don't care if you don't even speak the same language. It's still a human being, and it still demands a certain level of respect and a certain level of understanding. Be the better man. Be the better human being. I challenge you. Do it. If you're always nice to everyone, all that niceness and all that kindness will come back to you tenfold. Because that guy's not your mortal enemy. He's not plotting against you. He's just trying to live his life, the same as you're trying to live yours. With that said, thank you for watching today. The show's name, Afternoon Chat. I'm the host, Ghost Mostly. Afternoon Chat is live streamed on YouTube, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is an inclusive channel. Everyone is welcome. It's never going to be an exclusive club, okay? It's inclusive. Everyone is welcome, including the people that disagree with you and I. Their opinion has the right to be heard. That's what this show is all about. With that said, I'm the host, Ghost Mostly. I'll be back on tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you join me. I thank everyone. Like and subscribe if you could. This is a free show. It's free today. It'll be free tomorrow. Everyone is welcome here. Be respectful of others. Be kind to others. If you're kind to everyone all of the time, I think you're going to like the end result. Personal opinion. Feel free to jump in the chat and disagree. Thank you. I appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.